In this video, we are going to apply, first we're going to build and then apply masks on our image. And we're in good shape because we just did our co-spectral plot, and after that we did our color slice. And so we're looking at right here is our nice color slice. And presumably you turn this color slice into a shapefile. And so we're going to actually use this to build a mask where we're going to remove basically all the red areas from our NDVI value. Because if I unclick that raster color, you can see we have NDVI values out here in the water, right? So this is an NDVI value of negative, you know, 4.3 or something, right? And NDVI actually goes from, we can have legitimate values from -1 to 1. So, but we know in the water that's not very helpful for us. So we're going to use this color slice to build a mask, and we're going to do that in the toolbox. We're just going to type up here build mask, and that brings up this beautiful tool. I'm going to click on, and we can see it asks us for the input file. The input file we're going to use is the Landsat NDVI one. And then we're going to, so how are we going to define the mask? We are going to actually import the vector file that we created from the color slice. And we do that in the mask definition under options to import EVFS. And whatever you called your shapefile, it should be available and you can search for it. But mine is called low NDVI spike. That's just the name that I chose for that one. So I'm going to say OK. The data file associated with it again is the NDVI one, and I want these red areas to basically be turned off. Like, I don't want to deal with them. I want everything that's not in the red to be on, and I want everything in the red to be off. And so towards that end, I want to make the selected areas, meaning the areas associated with my shapefile, I want those guys to be off. I want those to be off. So under options, you want the selected areas to be off. And then we're going to make a name, and this is wherever you're working. So I will call this my NDVI mask. Well, actually, I'll call it my water WTR mask, because that's what I'm sort of masking out. And I'm going to say OK. And so right now, what the computer is doing is it is building a binary mask. And since we said the areas of interest in this one were the red areas, and we decided to make those guys off, the resulting mask which is going to be produced will be a black and white image where all the white should be land, that's not red, and then all the black areas will be the water ones which had, fell within this color slice area, color slice range which we have generated. And so the computer is working hard, right? At least my computer is. Hopefully the computer that you've chosen might be a little bit faster. And it's building the binary mask. So you could imagine right now that the elevator music is playing and good things are happening. And don't get nervous because it says not responding. Because hopefully it is responding. And if it isn't responding, then this video is just a waste of everyone's time so far. But I have faith. I don't think that's going to be the case, and we're just going to sit here. Still. Come on, computer. Hey, alright, it did it. Okay, so this is what we're talking about, right? So we can see this is now a binary image. Again, I can look at my cursor value. So here I'm 1, right? I'm in the land. Everything's great. And then here I'm in the 0, right? And it's not perfect. You can see there's speckle and things here. We could clean this up, but we're going to go with it as it is. There's also, we can see there's black in here. That's not quite right, but we're going to again go forth with what we have here. So we've built our mask. That's fantastic. Now we actually want to use it. So we're going to apply this mask. So apply mask. Okay, so the input file we want is our Landsat NDVI file. And the mask band we want is this water mask that we just made. You could have called it whatever you wanted to call it. And then we just say, okay. The mask value you get to set. So you get to choose what is the areas which are black here. What value do you want those to have? The default is 0. That's actually not good for us in this particular situation because NDVI goes from -1 to 1. So a 0 is actually a reasonable value. So I'm going to give it a number -5, way outside what NDVI could possibly be. And we're going to give it a name here. So we're going to call it masked NDVI. That should be okay. And then we're going to say okay and let this thing, and thankfully that was a lot quicker. And now if we check this guy out, we can see right out here in my masked NDVI, right, all these guys are -5, -5, and these guys have still my good NDVI values. Now that's great, right? Because if I compare this one to the previous, this is just the NDVI without any masking going on, right? I have all sorts of values here, which may or may not be. They're going to mess up my statistics. But with my masked guy, everything is clean and crisp, and I'm only having data in the places where I care to have data.